Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we have an exciting one because I have one of the new trim levels to the 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe lineup, and that is the entry-level SE Hybrid. Now, if you're new or haven't seen my 2026 model year changes on the Santa Fe, make sure you guys check that video out posted here on the channel, where I go across all of the trim levels for the gas and the hybrid Santa Fe's and tell you exactly what is going to be changing, including the pricing information is posted in the description. So if you're curious about any of that information, make sure you guys check that video out. But in terms of the SE Hybrid, this is a new trim level that was formerly not offered for the 2024 or 2025 Santa Fe. It will bring the entry-level hybrid price point down by about $2,200 from the former SEL front-wheel drive hybrid. This particular one is all-wheel drive, which does add a little bit cost, but it is still going to be a great option for those that don't need all of the bells and whistles that was formerly in the SEL or higher, and basically gives you a much more fuel-efficient Santa Fe compared to the 2.5 liter turbo, which still remains the other powertrain available, but that one of course is getting the 8-speed torque converted automatic transmission, which I cannot wait to get behind the wheel of and experience and test it for myself. But anyways, this particular one behind me is finished in Ecotronic Gray. It does have a few additional accessories on it, including all-wheel drive, which brings the total MSRP to just over $40,000, including destination. So without further ado, let's not waste time and check out the new SE Hybrid. So take a look at the Santa Fe in front of us. This one's finished in the Ecotronic Gray metallic exterior with the black cloth interior. Now, before we get into take a look at the Santa Fe in front of us, I do just want to mention the key differences from the SE Gas to the SE Hybrid. Now, the Hybrid actually comes standard with dual zone automatic climate control and the Micron air filtering technology. So you are gaining technically one big feature over that of the SE Gas, where if you're looking for that in the 2.5 liter turbo, you have to get an SEL or higher. So outside of that, they're basically going to be identical in terms of features, options, equipment. Of course, the hybrid comes with slightly different wheels versus that of the gas Santa Fe. You lose the roof rails on both SE Gas and SE Hybrid over the SEL trim level or higher. And you also lose the compact spare tire with the hybrid over that of the gas. Instead, I believe you get a temporary fix-a-flat kit, but I would not be surprised if you could add the spare tire underneath the rear of the vehicle like you can retrofit in the Tucson Hybrid, because it physically does fit, but for some reason Hyundai does not include it with their hybrid vehicles, maybe for weight savings and a little bit of fuel efficiency. But really outside of that, they're going to be very identical. So starting at the front of the vehicles, you're going to find the LED daytime running lights and turn signals illuminated in this H logo right there, projector, low and high beam headlamps, and then this section of the grille does illuminate when the LED headlights are on or you have enabled the parking lights. Front and rear parking sensors are standard on Santa Fe, along with a little bit of silver trim at the bottom, a little bit of matte gray plastics intertwined in there, as well as the active aero fraps, which will automatically open and close depending on fuel efficiency and aero needs of the vehicle and cooling and things like that. Bright silver trim in the middle with the silver Hyundai logo, which is flat stainless steel in design and looks fantastic. This paint really does have a lot of sparkle in direct sunlight. And then coming around to the side profile of the vehicle, like I did just mention in the introduction, the SE does not get the roof rails at the top, so it's one easy way to distinguish the base model from that of some of the other trim levels. And then the hybrid also gets the more aerodynamic wheel designs versus that of the more open spoke design of the gas model. So this is going to be 18-inch gloss black and machined wheel. It is going to be wrapped in a 235/60 18-inch Goodyear Finesse Assurance all-season tire. Do get a little bit of gloss black Santa Fe logo here on the side fender. Body color mirror caps, no turn signal integration or no cameras. These are going to be heated mirrors with blind spot detection as standard. You have the regular proximity entry on both of the two front door handles. And one nice aspect is the SE still does get all the tinted rear glass instead of the untinted like some of the lesser models within the Hyundai lineup, as that would be a kind of a big downgrade for a vehicle like this, but Hyundai did keep that feature with the entry-level Santa Fe. And then coming out back, more LED lighting will be found on this vehicle with your LED brake lights, turn signals located in that portion, and then the reverse lights are located a little bit farther down and are not LED, unfortunately. And then you have an additional set of LED lights that when the hatch is open or the tailgate is open, they will automatically illuminate to meet all of the rules and regulations in terms of vehicle safety. Rear backup sensors, you have the rear backup camera just above the liftgate handle, Santa Fe spelled out in that bright silver lettering along with the Hyundai logo, integrated wiper located up into the spoiler, and then the H-Track hybrid badge on the passenger side to signify that this one is all-wheel drive, as well as does have that hybrid powertrain. But outside of that, it's basically going to look identical to that of the last 2 model years of this vehicle in this current generation, just with some small tweaks, obviously, for being the SE hybrid. Let's go and take a quick look at the window sticker so you guys know exactly how this one is equipped before jumping onto the interior. So take a look at the window sticker. The SE hybrid comes extremely well equipped for being an entry-level trim level within the Hyundai lineup, with things like smart cruise control, lane follow assist, LED projector headlights, power liftgate, dual zone automatic climate control with front and rear parking sensors, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and BlueLink Plus, which is free for the lifetime of the first owner, with expanded benefits for CPO or used owners. And this one does have a few additional accessories on it, which brings the total MSRP, including destination, to $40,090. Now, every Santa Fe, both gas and hybrid, is going to be produced here in Montgomery, Alabama. So they are all final assembled here in the United States, which is a great thing for Hyundai and having jobs right here in the United States. But outside of that, great fuel efficiency and great entry-level features. Take a look here on the interior. This one has the black cloth interior, but there are going to be different interior colors available depending on the exterior and the trim level that you do choose. Starting out here on the door pan, you're going to find more of the basic materials available within the Santa Fe lineup, but they are still fairly premium. So up top, this is going to be a soft touch, kind of a faux leather with accent stitching. You have a little bit of dark metallic texture trim with the silver outline. And then down below here on the armrest, this is going to be a more firm, but still slightly soft touch vinyl plastic material with power windows, mirrors, and locks, with the driver window being fully automatic up-down. You have a good amount of lower door storage, and then the standard 6-speaker audio system, but of course Bose will be available on the Limited and the Calligraphy. Now, coming to the driver's seat, this is a 6-way manual driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar, so really nice to see that they are including lumbar adjustment as standard. And there is the regular black cloth, not a lot of texture or design to it. And then coming up here to the dashboard, very, very similar to that of 2025 models. So take a look here on the interior. This is basically going to be a carryover from the last 2 model years, depending on the trim level that you were looking at, obviously with just a little bit of unique packaging for this entry-level hybrid. So in front of the driver, you're going to find a fully digital and partially configurable gauge cluster with the 4.2-inch section in the middle, where the speedometer and the tachometer are fixed in place. Now, the middle screen is controlled here on the left side of the steering wheel. It has all of your usual trip information. You have your fuel economy, obviously odometer, outside ambient temperature, speed sign recognition is under there. And then the hybrid does have a few additional specific pages for idle mode, battery capacity, coolant temperature, things like that, driver assistance, and there you can see some of those unique pages with the all-wheel drive and the tire pressure, and then back to the trip information. Now, coming back to the steering wheel, the SE comes standard with a leather wrap steering wheel, which is a great choice by Hyundai. Definitely feels a little bit more premium in the hand. Down below, it has your 4 dots for the logo, as well as the silver trim on the bottom side. You have adaptive cruise control or smart cruise control, lane follow assist, and the digital gauge cluster here on the left side. Audio multimedia on the right side, paddle shifters to adjust the regen level for the hybrid drive mode system on the back side, and then you have your column-mounted shift-by-wire here for the gear selection, which frees up the center console space, which is a standard feature on every Santa Fe. Automatic headlights with auto high beam assist, regular intermittent wipers. To the left of the steering wheel, we have your electronic parking brake, gauge dimming, power trunk, as well as traction control off, manual tilt telescopic steering wheel, and then you have this nice silver trim for the AC vents and the gray metallic on the dashboard. A little bit more semi-soft touch materials across the middle of the dash. And then coming over to the infotainment system, this is the 12.3-inch CCNC Lite infotainment with wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Does not have built-in navigation, but does have Sirius XM, AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth inputs, and does have over-the-air software update capability. So if they need to issue anything like that, you can update a lot of the head unit and modules within the vehicle. Does come with BlueLink Plus, which is free for the lifetime of the first owner. And then you have your specific hybrid pages, which show your power consumption, fuel economy, electric motor use, things like that. And I do have additional content here on the channel discussing things like baby mode and green zone, which does change how the vehicle uses the hybrid system and how the vehicle drives, depending on which mode you are using among the regular drive modes that also come standard. So make sure you guys check those videos out if you're curious about that. And then for the SE Hybrid, this is going to be one of the unique or added benefits over the SE Gas is the dual zone automatic climate control with the touch screen here in the middle. It has the driver only mode for better fuel economy and efficiency for the hybrid. All physical hard touch buttons for the volume, tune, and then your home buttons and all the configurable things. Here's the automatic vehicle hold, drive mode selection, all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive lock, hill descent control. Here's the backup camera as well as the parking sensors on and off. There you can see the backup camera with the parking sensors on the right side. USB-C ports for both the data and charge only. You can toggle this one to be data and charge or charge only. And you can see Hyundai has started putting stickers here on the center console to distinguish that these are not wireless charging pads or are not digital keypads. So neither one of these in the SE is going to be wireless charging or digital key, but you'll start seeing those features in the SEL or higher. 2 large cup holders. Here's the bi-directional center console, obviously with the integrated storage tray. And then you have additional storage and charging with a 12-volt outlet down below in the center console. Coming up top, you have the lighter gray pillars and headliner, which makes it feel much more open with the black interior. You have LED vanity illumination, manual dimming interior rear mirror, overhead blue link SOS, overhead LED dome lighting, which is always a nice thing, and then no sunroof obviously in this particular trim level, so the entire headliner is pretty much smooth. So that's a look here at the front seat. Let's go ahead and take a look out back. So take a look at the second and third rows of the Santa Fe. Materials are going to be mostly following through from the front seat. So starting out here on the door pin, you're going to find a very similar amount of semi-soft touch at the top, as well as for the armrest section. You have 2 cup holders, power windows, and then additional bottle storage down below. Now coming to the second row, the SE comes standard with the bench second row. So this is the 7-passenger seating configuration for the Santa Fe. Hyundai has changed the limited trim in particular to have standard captain chairs with optional bench seats. So if you're looking for 6 passengers or captain chairs in the Santa Fe, you will have to stick to a limited or a calligraphy for 2026. Now you do have the power release mechanism to get easier access to the third row, as well as manual recline and things like that. Seats are going to be pretty much identical in terms of their material and design, and then stepping inside it's going to be fairly easy given the wide door opening and higher roof line. We have LED overhead lighting, grab handles. There's going to be a quick look here at the front dashboard. And in terms of rear seat amenities, we have USB-C charge ports on the front seats. We have the pull-out drawer for the center console. And then we have storage on both the front driver's side and front passenger seat. AC vents in the pillars. And then we do have a center console, or excuse me, a center armrest with 2 integrated cup holders, 60/40 split folding seats. We can easily fit 3 adults here on the back. And then behind my approximate driving position, you can see I have plenty of room, 5+ inches, plenty of foot room, and that headroom is not going to be an issue either. Now taking a look at the third row of the Santa Fe, you have that easy tilt and slide function via that button, which is a great thing. Makes easier access to the third row, and there you can see the third row seat is up on the one side and folded down on the other. Now stepping inside the third row, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's honestly not terrible. The seat does latch into a more forward position, so it doesn't immediately crush your occupants. But back here, it's going to be fairly tight for full-size adults or even teenagers for that matter. So this is definitely an area where you need to use it in a pinch. Good for that, but not really as good for longer road trips. You have no real amenities back here in the base model. No USB-C charging, which is on the SEL or higher. And then you have some more AC controls and fan controls on those higher trim levels as well. But you do have overhead LED illumination, cup holders, hard touch armrests, and then you can recline the seat with the strap on the back. So if you need to recline a little bit more, you can do that. Now coming to the trunk and cargo area, of course, every Santa Fe comes standard with the hands-free power liftgate, which is a very useful feature. And then behind the third row seats, you can see there is a very limited amount of space. So if you need just a couple small items, maybe groceries back here, you can fit that with the third row seats folded up. But pulling this lever or pulling the other lever here, it will automatically retract the seat down. This one has some of the additional accessories, including the seat back mat, 12-volt outlet here on the left side, additional storage. And then you do have the power folding second row seats here on the right side with additional storage. And then beneath the floor, you will find the temporary tire mobility kit, 12-volt battery, I believe, is located back here, and some additional storage space. And then underneath the vehicle, if you're looking to add the compact spare tire, it would be mounted in this vicinity right here, which, as you can see, appears to be pretty much the same as the gas model. So not to say that it's easy to add the temporary spare tire, but it might be possible. But overall, a good amount of storage capacity with the third row seats folded down, just a hair more of that of the last generation Santa Fe, if you're familiar with that. And of course, a much more wide and boxy opening to help ingress and egress for additional items. Now, coming to the passenger front seat, of course, materials are going to be the same as the driver's side. We have a 6-way passenger seat. Unfortunately, no power lumbar. There's going to be the dashboard. We do still have the dual storage glove box. So we have a main section here and then a upper section which you can put smaller items inside. Both very useful. And that is basically going to be a look here at the interior of the SE Hybrid. Let's go and pop the hood so it powers this particular vehicle before wrapping this video up. So under the hood of every hybrid, you're going to find the 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder paired to a 6-speed torque converted automatic transmission and a single electric motor. Now combined, this puts out 231 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque through either the front wheels only or all 4 wheels when you do select all-wheel drive. And of course, the all-wheel drive system is dynamic in nature, so it will automatically switch between front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive depending on the drive mode, wheel slip, and things like that. Now in terms of fuel economy over that of the standard SE gas, this one's rated at 35 city, 34 out on the highway, so you have significant fuel economy advantages to that of the hybrid over the gas Santa Fe, but you are going to be a little bit down on power and towing and things like that if you need that additional capability. However, for the additional about $1,300 that this commands in terms of price premium over the gas engine, I think that is a worthy trade-off as long as you don't need some of those additional towing benefits and don't like to drive in a more sporty, spirited manner. So let's go do it here for this full walk-around tour of the 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe SE Hybrid. If you guys enjoyed this video and or found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe if you haven't already, check out the 2026 model year changes for the Santa Fe and other vehicles that I have posted here on the channel if you're curious about all of the changes. But overall, I think this is a great option for those that, like I said, don't want all of the luxurious features, amenities, or don't even need everything of the standard SEL and want to save a couple $1,000s and go for a slightly cheaper but still very fuel efficient and still very feature rich vehicle for just under $40,000, including all-wheel drive destination without any of the additional accessories. So let me know what you guys think of this vehicle down in the comment section below. Stay tuned for additional 2026 Santa Fe coverage as they are rolling out to dealerships. And of course, I am extremely excited for the new Palisade, which unfortunately I have not seen in person quite yet. Unfortunately, I was not invited to the Palisade launch and first drive event, which did happen last week for most media and journalists. But anyways, there's going to be a lot of videos and coverage coming over the entire Hyundai lineup as usual for 2026. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this vehicle down in the comment section below. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next one.